By-elections rarely make the news. Fewer people turn up to vote, most pundits can guess the results. But one contest in northern England has caught our eye, not because it's a tough fight, but because it's a dirty one. It's a fight that now features India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi. We're talking about this constituency in West Yorkshire. It's called Batley and Spen. It's a key seat in the House of Commons. The campaign here has hit rock bottom. Fear-mongering, dog whistles, identity politics, you name it and it's happening here. But who is the perpetrator? Britain's mirror on the wall. Its self-proclaimed conscience keeper, the Labour Party. They've kept the seat since 1997, and to retain it, they will go to any lengths, it seems. This is a Labour campaign pamphlet from Batley and Spen. We cannot vouch for its authenticity, but Tory leaders swear by it. Two leaders feature on this poster. Neither of them are Labour. One of them is not even British. This is a picture of Boris Johnson meeting Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Now look at the caption. Don't risk a Tory MP who is not on your side. We have two questions. Number one, why is the Indian Prime Minister on a random British campaign poster? Number two, who is the poster addressing? Whose side is Labour talking about? Well, here's what a campaign spokesman said, and I'm quoting from what has been said. This leaflet makes it clear a vote for anybody other than Labour would lead to a Tory MP who would support a Prime Minister who insults Muslim women and calls it a joke, refuses to deal with Islamophobia in his party, and fails to speak out on human rights abuses in Kashmir. Of course, it had to be Kashmir. Have you heard Indian leaders talk about the Scottish referendum? Have you seen Nicola Sturgeon on Indian campaign pamphlets? You haven't, because that's Britain's internal matter. A by-election in northern England has nothing to do with Kashmir. Then why was Prime Minister Modi on this pamphlet? Because Labour is dabbling in identity politics. Let me explain. 20% of the voters in Batley and Spen are South Asian, most of them from Pakistan. Traditionally, Labour has won their votes. But this time, there's a new challenge. A breakaway Labour leader called George Galloway. He's eating into the minority Muslim vote. So what does Labour do? Double down on the fear-mongering. Apparently, these pamphlets are being distributed only in minority neighbourhoods. Not everyone is happy with these tactics, though. A Labour group called Labour Friends of India had this to say, and I'm quoting again, "It is unfortunate that the Labour Party used a picture of the Prime Minister of India, the world's largest democracy and one of the UK's closest friends. They want the leaflet to be withdrawn immediately." What about the Tories? They're the ruling party in Britain. What have they said about this? How have they reacted? This is what Tory legislator Richard Holden posted on social media. He has a question for Labour leader Keir Starmer. Would he not meet Prime Minister Narendra Modi? Would the Labour boycott India if they came to power? Well, we already know the answer. They won't. Labour, or any party for that matter, does not appoint the Indian leadership. That's for the people of India. As for Keir Starmer, he's choosing to ignore this controversy. Instead, he's going after George Galloway. Starmer says Galloway's poisonous politics has no place in Britain, and he's right. But his own party is playing the same poisonous politics, dividing voters with hate, and in the process, mudslinging foreign leaders. On that, the Labour leader has nothing to say. No apology, no condemnation. Now, Labour's weird Kashmir obsession is not new. But under Keir Starmer, things were supposed to improve. This is what he said in May 2020. "We must not allow issues of the subcontinent to divide communities here. Any constitutional issues in India are a matter for the Indian Parliament." He's right. But today his party is doing precisely the opposite. Using Kashmir to divide communities in Britain. It seems sovereignty is an alien concept for them. Not just India's sovereignty, but also their own. You see, when parties use foreign leaders in election campaigns, it's a reflection of their own state, their own inability to win votes. As they say, if you cannot inspire hope, create an atmosphere of fear. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.